Right now, moisture is destroying things in your home. Your leather shoes are growing mold along the seam. The metal tools in your garage are rusting from the inside out. The cardboard boxes in your storage unit are softening. Your car's interior smells like a wet towel every morning. The wooden furniture in your spare room is warping. The electronics you packed away are corroding on their circuit boards. You are not imagining it. You are not being dramatic. Humidity is a slow demolition crew, and it works every hour of every day without ever sending you a bill, until the damage is done. Where humidity comes from: daily life. Every shower you take releases 1 to 2 liters of moisture into your home. Cooking a meal adds another liter. Drying clothes indoors pushes 5 liters of vapor into your air in a single cycle. A sleeping person exhales 1 liter overnight. A gas stove produces moisture as a combustion byproduct. Even breathing in a sealed room builds humidity silently, hour by hour. The EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, says keep indoor humidity between 30 to 50%. Above 60%, mold colonies form within 24 to 48 hours. On surfaces you cannot see, inside walls, behind furniture, underneath flooring. You cannot clean your way out of that. You have to remove the moisture from the air. There is a product in the cleaning aisle of every hardware store called DampRid. White crystals in a plastic tub, a collection reservoir underneath. It pulls moisture out of the air in closets, basements, boats, storage units, bathrooms, anywhere humidity quietly destroys things. It costs between $12 and $18 per tub. When the crystals dissolve and the tub fills up, you throw it away and buy another one. The crystals inside are calcium chloride, an inorganic salt available at any pool supply store, hardware store, or agricultural supplier for approximately $4 per bag. The same compound used to de-ice roads, preserve food, and condition soil. DampRid's entire business model is buying it in bulk, repackaging it, and selling it back to you at 3 to 4 times the raw material cost, as a product you are supposed to throw away. Stay with me, because there is one thing this product will never put on its label, and it changes the entire equation. Before the chemistry, the problem, because most people are treating symptoms instead of causes, the EPA recommends keeping indoor relative humidity between 30 and 50%. Above 60%, mold begins to colonize surfaces within 24 to 48 hours. You cannot clean your way out of that. You have to remove the moisture from the air. Excess moisture in an enclosed space does 5 things simultaneously. It feeds mold spores that are always present and always waiting. It penetrates wood fibers and causes warping. It oxidizes metal. It degrades leather, fabric, and paper. And it shortens the life of any electronics stored in the space. A basement that always smells faintly of earth. A closet where leather develops mold along the seam. A storage unit where cardboard comes out soft. A boat or RV you close for 3 months and open to find everything smelling like a wet tent. That is not a cleaning problem. That is a moisture problem. And calcium chloride solves it, passively, silently, and once you understand the regeneration, essentially for free. The calcium chloride is what chemists call a hygroscopic salt, a compound with an extremely strong chemical affinity for water molecules. When the crystals are exposed to humid air, the calcium and chloride ions on the crystal surface attract water vapor molecules out of the surrounding air and bind them. This continues until the compound reaches equilibrium with the room, meaning it keeps pulling moisture until the air humidity drops to its target range. It does not overshoot. It self-regulates. At high humidity levels, the crystals absorb so much water that they dissolve into it, a process called deliquescence. They form a brine solution that drips into the collection container beneath. Calcium chloride can absorb moisture up to 6 times its own weight. That is documented chemistry, not marketing. For comparison, silica gel, the packets in shoe boxes and beef jerky, absorbs roughly 10 to 30% of its own weight under similar conditions. Calcium chloride is in a fundamentally different category, especially in high humidity environments. No energy input, no compressor, no fan, no power outlet required, no noise. You place it in a space and it works continuously for as long as there is moisture in the air to attract. One honest note before we continue. In a severely water-damaged basement, or any space with active water intrusion through walls or foundation, calcium chloride is not the right tool. That requires a powered unit with pump capacity. Calcium chloride prevents the conditions that lead to those problems. It does not remedy them after the fact. The DIY setup costs approximately $4 and takes 5 minutes. You need calcium chloride in pellet or flake form, not powder, available at pool supply stores, hardware stores, and agricultural suppliers, and a container that separates crystals from the liquid they collect. Simplest version, a clean plastic colander sitting inside a bowl of the same approximate diameter. Fill the colander with calcium chloride crystals 2 to 3 inches deep. As the crystals absorb moisture and begin to dissolve, brine drips through the colander into the bowl. The crystals on top continue working until they are fully dissolved. Empty the bowl when it fills. That is the complete setup. For a closet or small room, one colander unit handles the job. For a larger enclosed space, a basement, a storage unit, multiple units placed around the perimeter perform better than one central unit. Calcium chloride works on the air immediately surrounding it, not across a large room, the way a powered unit with a fan does. Treat each unit as serving roughly a 3 to 5 foot radius and position accordingly. For a severely humid environment, coastal, tropical, monsoon season, calcium chloride units work best as a supplement to a powered dehumidifier, not a standalone replacement. For closed storage spaces, boats, RVs, seasonal properties, wardrobes, gun safes, they are a complete and fully effective solution on their own. The part they will never put on the label. When your calcium chloride has fully dissolved into brine and the colander is empty, the product is not finished. The calcium chloride is still there, dissolved in the water it collected, chemically intact, fully functional. It has not degraded. It has not been used up. It has simply absorbed as much water as it can hold at room temperature. Heat drives the absorbed water back out of the crystals and restores the compound to its original, dry, active state. Here is how to do it. Pour the liquid brine from your collection bowl into a shallow, oven-safe glass dish. Set your oven to between 300 and 400 degrees Fahrenheit, 150 to 200 degrees Celsius. Place the dish inside. Leave it for 1 to 3 hours. The water evaporates through the oven vent. What remains in the dish is dry calcium chloride, reconstituted, fully active, ready to refill your colander. Let it cool completely. Store it in a sealed, airtight container until the next use. 3 things to know. Open a window or run your range hood during regeneration. You are evaporating moisture from the brine, clean and non-toxic, but you are pushing that humidity into your kitchen, which defeats the point. Use glass. Metal can react with brine over repeated heating cycles. Do not exceed 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Higher temperatures risk altering the calcium chloride. Stay in the 300 to 400 range for clean, complete regeneration. The same $4 bag of raw material, working again. Done correctly, the same batch can be regenerated and reused many, many times. The market. The global dehumidifier market was valued at $4 billion in 2023 and is growing. DampRid alone generates tens of millions in annual retail sales from a raw material that has sat in hardware stores for decades at a fraction of the price. In the US, a single DampRid tub runs between $12 and $18 at any Home Depot or Walmart. In the UK and across Western Europe, equivalent branded moisture absorbers sell for 8 to 15 euros per unit. A 50-pound bag of calcium chloride from any pool supply or agricultural outlet costs around $20 to $25. Enough raw material to replace hundreds of disposable tubs. For a closet or storage space, the exact use case DampRid is marketed for, you are being sold a recurring expense for a problem that a one-time $20 purchase solves permanently. The disposable format is the business model. The branded tub, the built-in reservoir, the packaging, all of it exists to make you throw away something that was always capable of being regenerated and reused. The chemistry did not change. The compound did not change. The only thing that changed is whether you know you can put it in the oven. Now you know. One tool worth adding to this setup, a hygrometer. A cheap humidity monitor, available for under $10 at most hardware stores, tells you exactly what your space is doing and whether your calcium chloride units are keeping up. If you are consistently above 60% in a living space, add units or step up to a powered dehumidifier. If you are in storage territory and holding below 50, you are done. What space are you going to use this in first? Drop it below. And if you found the regeneration detail useful, that is the one the industry would rather you not know. Share this with someone who is throwing away DampRid tubs right now.